Hi guys, my name is Abby. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. On this channel I talk about all things self-care, self-love, body positivity. So if you like that type of content, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am also going through a year-long holistic health coaching program and I get my certification next month. So if you want to follow my wellness account, it's just Abby Fisher Wellness. I also post a lot of self-love, self-care content, so make sure you follow that. And then my personal Instagram is just Abby Fisher with 2 R's at the end. So today I thought that I'd talk a bit about self-love because it's one of the things that I just love talking about. But instead of me just listing off tips, which is just kind of boring, I thought that I'd do my makeup while giving you guys some advice. In middle school I used to make makeup videos, so even though makeup is not my niche anymore, I still think it's fun and I wear makeup now because I want to. I do it for myself, not for anyone else, and it's almost like therapeutic for me. Am I the best at it? No, but it's fine. I don't know who I thought I was in middle school teaching people how to do makeup because I had no idea what I was doing. I'm gonna put my hair up. We're really getting down to business here. If you didn't watch my last video, which what are you doing? This is my last video. Why I decided to love my body. Basically, long story short, I developed body dysmorphia at the age of 6, and for about 15 years after that, I developed disordered eating and just had an unhealthy relationship with my body and food. And with that came a lot of insecurities and mental health issues. And essentially, I just kind of hated myself for 15 years. I think for a long time, I thought self-love was about, you know, doing facial masks and taking baths. And although that is a part of self-care, I really do think self-care is extremely important. Self-love is way deeper than that, and it takes a lot of time and practice, and it's something that you're going to be working on for the rest of your life. So here are 5 tips I have for you that really helped me love myself. I have to give credit to Elizabeth Dialto. She did a lecture in my program and it was a really great lecture. I'll make sure to put all her links down below. She kind of categorized the 5 tips that I have for you, but I'm obviously putting my own little twist on it, my own advice, because I have my own stories. And it's funny because I actually did all these things before I even saw her lecture, but I really liked the way that she categorized all of her tips. Let's also start putting on some makeup because I feel like this video is going to be a really long one. By the way, I'm going to put all of the products that I'm using in the description box below so you guys can check it out. So the first tip is acceptance. I feel like without acceptance, you can't really love yourself. A lot of people think that with self-love, you have to like yourself all the time, but there's a difference. You don't necessarily have to like yourself. You do have to accept yourself though. We all mess up from time to time, and I think it's about not being so hard on ourselves when that does happen, because we all mess up. It's part of being human. There are days where people just wake up and they don't like themselves or they hate themselves, which is just so sad and so wrong. And I think that has to do with society. Society has literally trained us into believing that we're not good enough for anything. But once you start accepting yourself and understand that you are perfectly fine wherever you are, and wherever you are is where you're supposed to be, that's when you can start to heal. I know that it's like much easier said than done, especially if you've gone like your whole life hating yourself or not liking yourself. So what really helped me is mantras. You can say something like, I am beautiful, I am enough, or something like that. And if you just repeat those things to yourself every day, even if you don't believe what you're saying, your brain is going to trick itself into believing that it is actually beautiful and actually enough. Then you're going to start to feel it. Self-care has also kind of tricked my brain into being gentler with myself. I love self-care. There's literally so many different types of self-care that you can do, so you got to just find what works for you. So the next tip is respect, and this one is a big one for me. About 2 years ago, I really did not have a lot of respect for myself. We have grown a lot. We're all about that self-growth. I just would always say yes to things when I wanted to say no, when I didn't want to do something. So I think understanding that you have the right to say no literally whenever you want is extremely important when it comes to self-love. Respect is one of the most important things. When it comes down to it, just make sure that you're reflecting on your respect for yourself and make sure that you're prioritizing yourself. I personally believe that the best way to reflect is by journaling or meditating. I've come to a lot of conclusions about myself by journaling. So tip number 3 is awareness. This is the perfect time to say that not every day is going to be perfect. You're gonna have days where you want to relapse. Having that awareness though is extremely important, because then when you are aware, it's a lot easier to recenter yourself and bring yourself back to your true self, essentially. Because all the insecurity and doubts that you're having, that's just fear. And that's completely okay. The reason why I think a lot of people have a lot of doubts and insecurities is because it's easy to be fearful. Being your true, authentic self takes a lot of courage and a lot of hard work. And some people are just not ready to do that, which is totally okay. Everyone is going on their own journey. They're on their own path in life. But you do have to understand that it does take a lot of work to be happy and to love yourself. It's an everyday practice, like I said. Some things that really help me bring myself back to myself and just become more aware of my surroundings is doing things like yoga and stretching and running. Running really helps me clear my head. So just doing activities that will kind of bring you back to your body. So the 4th step is knowledge, and oh, this is broken. So the 4th step to loving yourself is knowledge. This means get to know yourself. I realized that it was a lot harder to love myself when I didn't really know much about myself, or I really didn't understand myself, because I spent so long so fixated on my outer appearance and what people thought of me that I really only thought about my looks and my body. I didn't place getting to know myself as a priority because I thought that I had to do what everyone else expected anyways. So I thought, like, what's the point of getting to know myself? Besides journaling, which that has really helped me get to know myself, a great way to reflect and just understand yourself is by literally sitting down, being quiet, and asking yourself, who am I? Another great way to get to know yourself is actually by just asking other people and having conversations with other people. A lot of new ideas for me were sparked through simple conversations. Only you really understand yourself, so take what other people say with a grain of salt. But I've actually asked my friends and family, like, do you think this would be a good idea for me? Do you think this would be something that I would enjoy doing? Just hearing their feedback has really helped me, and then I'm able to kind of sit with what they have said and be like, okay, so maybe that could work out. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do this. And so I've gotten a lot of great advice from a lot of different people. With this, also give yourself permission to change. Everyone is constantly changing. You're not the same person as you were yesterday. Give yourself that grace, because if you didn't like who you were yesterday, that's okay. If you don't like who you are right now, that is okay. Again, you gotta accept yourself, but you do also have the right to change. That's what's really cool about life, is you can change and be whoever you want. So I did just put on winged eyeliner off camera because there's no way I would be able to do it just sitting here. It takes a lot of focus. Okay, so the last and final tip is trust. I personally believe that it's a lot easier to go about life when you believe in a higher power, whatever that is for you. At the end of the day, you just gotta trust that wherever you are in life is where you're supposed to be. And no matter what you believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Give yourself more credit and give yourself grace when you mess up in life, because you will mess up again if you think that from here on out, you're just gonna live this perfect life. That's not what's happening. Allow yourself to make those mistakes because we're all human and we're all learning and growing. This whole thing is literally all about mindset. And once you realize that, you can accomplish anything. So those were all the tips for you. I'm gonna finish up my makeup. I'm gonna put on my eyebrows because we want those thick eyebrows. And then I'll be right back. Done. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Realized I'm not very good at multitasking, so it's kind of all over the place, but we're learning. If you guys have any tips or advice for self-love, or if you have your own self-love story, make sure that you comment down below. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.